going on, everybody? I want to welcome you back to Knicks Deli. I'm your boy Shea. So, I wanted to wait a few days for this game to be over, all right? Everybody's talking about the choke. You know what I mean? The choke sign. You got Reggie Miller doing the point. You got Gilbert Arenas painting half of his face yellow, the other half Indiana blue. You got all of these things taking place. More importantly, you got Knicks fans jumping off the edge. Everybody's paranoid. Everybody's talking about, the collapse. This is the language that you're using in your videos. This is the language that they're using on TV. This is the language that makes everybody go viral, right? My reaction, I was stunned. I was sitting there upset. I'm talking about who could have did what was a double dribble, all of that. I'm talking about all of that. I was pissed. I couldn't sleep that night. I couldn't get up and function the next day, but I did. All of that. Yes, true. You should be in your feelings about that. But shortly thereafter, the first thing I said was like, you know how if you ever get punched in the face, somebody, you look at them like, why would you do that? Shout out to LL when he said Jamie Foxx punched him in the face. He looked at him, he was just like, why would you do that? That's how I feel we should have been. Game on now. They always say the first game you win on the opposing team's floor, that's the start of the series. They won it on our floor, start of the series. Start of the series. The difference is a lot of Knicks fans got PTSD. A lot of the media don't want the New York Knicks to win this series. Don't get it twisted. Nobody outside of Knicks fans want the New York Knicks to win this series because it means what has to come to an end is all the laughs, is all the ha-ha and the kikis. All of that has to come to an end. So nobody wants the New York Knicks to lose any more than everybody who is outside of orange and blue fandom. That's a fact. That is a fact. But what these New York Knicks have that was different than years past are talented players. We have a player who we have a superstar on the squad. We have a star that's on the squad who, with the erection of the trophy, he can be in that superstar conversation as well, so they could be a superstar duo. I'm talking about Cat. First and foremost, I'm talking about Jalen Brunson. But then we have an OG Anunoby. We do have a McCall Bridges. We have a Josh Hart. We have a Mitch Robb. Come on, man. What are we talking about? So the difference is, anytime in the past, the Reggie Miller game, you know what I mean? Like they still lost that series. So you sit here and you let the new generation see the social media thing is a trip because now it could travel all over the world. Everybody's talking. Calm down, Knicks fans. Calm down because much of the three quarters, we were in control. The fourth quarter, we were in control until it unraveled at the end. This is New York basketball. You also got to keep in mind that Indiana team went to the conference finals last year. This team together, although individually we may have experience with Karl Anthony Towns going to the conference finals, OG Anunoby winning a chip, Jalen Brunson going to the conference finals. We have experience, but we don't have an experience as a team. So this is what happens. This is what happens when you don't. But don't let media, don't let the fan base, don't let that moment move your attention from the fact that Jalen Brunson dropped 43 points and 5 assists. What was it? Karl Anthony Towns dropped 35 points and 12 rebounds. Bridges and Anunoby both had 16. Don't get it twisted. Don't act like this is in a series where you make adjustments. Don't let them try to convince you that, the New York Knicks are in the same situation that Boston is in, and that Halliburton has to, he's doing the same thing to the Knicks that he's doing to other teams. Get that? Look, you fall for that if you want to. The New York Knicks will represent the East in the finals this year. If you stay on my channel, if you ask your boy Shea, and I've been right a lot. I'm right a lot. But the moment anybody that tries to, look, they even got Reggie Miller. Come on, you don't think the NBA wants this? They even got Reggie Miller covering the games. in Indiana. Are you following me? So let's be clear. Yeah, they got that win. Yeah, they got a couple of days to do that. And look, even Reggie Miller was just like, yeah, I think he shot us low by doing that real quick. He did it on the 2-pointer. It wasn't even to win the game. So he's going to fall in the same category as Reggie Miller because the gesture and the moment is an iconic moment. That didn't even win the game. That tied the game to go into overtime. He wasn't even the leading scorer. The dude that was hitting the 3-pointers won them the game. But moments, I created another video. I said, you could run into a situation where he creates a moment and he becomes the new Trae Young. Known for nothing, not known for winning, but for having iconic moments and iconic spots in an iconic environment. But the difference is going to be if the Knicks win this series and then go on to make their own moments. Yo, Brunson, how you going to respond? Karl Anthony Towns, how you going to respond? Knicks fans, how you going to respond? Game 1 in a 7-game series. Shake it off right now. You know, keep walking, keep moving, and let's go. Because you notice a lot of people are reporting Pacer fans are quiet. Oh, they starting to chirp now. Yeah, they all in my comment section talking about, I hope the Knicks have the same level of arrogance, because if you look at the numbers, then technically, you know, a move here or a play there, we could have won the game. I'm like, I bet. Game 2. A lot of people want to talk about the 90s this, the 90s that. This is how you know there's a difference between old school fans and new school fans. Because somebody like myself, who grew up through the torture, who has 7 or 18 ulcers that I probably don't know about, that was formed because of Pat Riley, Jeff Van Gundy, and the stress and the cardiac arrhythmia from the New York Knicks in the 90s. I shield that, I eat that, I move forward. We eat, we chew glass, we bump in the walls, we break doors, all of that. But you recent Knicks fans, you know, you're like, my elbow hurts, you know, this hurts, it's the end of the world. You're probably running out of there, you know, you're probably gonna run out there and take off your Knicks t-shirt and have yellow and blue on it. What are we doing? It's a series. It can be ebbs and flows. Who rises to the challenge? Who rises to the moment? Or be out there having fun? Look, they win, they're supposed to have fun. It's one game. So keep this in mind. Same thing applies to life that applies to our team. If there's no struggle, there's no progress. But also remember this. Whether it's out there in the real world or here in these YouTube streets, you could bet your bottom dollar the New York Knicks are going to eat. And we get into the chip. I'm your boy, Shea, and I'm out. Peace.